All right, let's talk about retraining drivers. So my name is Flint Holbrook. I am the president and founder of TruckSpy. We're a full suite telematics company. I just want to give you some tips today on retraining because I think a lot of companies don't do a very good job at this. So you've got a driver out there that maybe is exhibiting some unsafe behavior, maybe has had a couple of incidents, maybe they're not doing their pre and post trips, maybe they're misusing their ELD. You have called them and coached them on these issues and they're still not getting it. It's time to pull them in for a retraining. And so retraining looks a lot different than a new hire training. So a new hire training is pretty nice and we're happy you're here and we want you to be a part of our family. A retraining is a little bit different tone, and it needs to kind of be like, hey, we want you to stay a part of our family as long as you can do these things. And if you can't do these things, then maybe you shouldn't be a part of our family anymore. And during a retraining, like, you've got to document the retraining first thing. Have a form, right, that says retraining, driver name, driver ID, here's what we're retraining on, have the driver sign after the training. All right, administrative stuff out of the way. In the retraining, you got to sit down with the driver face to face. You got to say, look, here's what you're doing that we don't like, and here's why this doesn't work for us. Don't just leave it, we don't like this. Tell them why. Because a lot of times if they just understand the reason behind why you want them to do what they, what you want them to do, when that clicks, a lot of times they get it and they'll comply. But I mean, all right, let's take ELD for an example. You got a driver that can't seem to use his ELD properly. Bring him in, spend an hour with him, walk through every function on that ELD, right? Say, look, here's what we expect out of the ELD. We expect you to log in, expect you to go on duty, do your inspection, right? We're gonna take our 30-minute break. Like, all this, sounds simple, right? We're gonna follow the hours of service rules. But I mean, really get into the details and walk him through every bit of it, and then say, do you understand this? And he's gonna say yes or no. And you're gonna say, look, if the answer is no, we need to do some more training. If the answer is yes, we expect you to follow this training today. And if you can't do that, let us know. Do you have a problem doing that? And if they do, they're probably not gonna tell you right there, but if they do, you probably don't want them to continue to be a part of your company. They're probably going to say yes, and you're going to say, okay, well, we need you to sign this form that says we have retrained you on this topic and that you agree as a driver, yes, I'm going to go back out to work and I'm going to actually follow this policy that you've explained to me. And if I don't, that there's going to be further consequences. So that's really the point of the retraining. I mean, hopefully you do the retraining and they get it and the policies get followed. If they don't, you should follow your company policies, right? Like, you should have determined how many strikes do we give this driver and when do we let this driver go? What's acceptable and what's not acceptable at our company? Retraining is just really important, guys, and so many companies don't formalize it. A lot of companies, coaching is one thing, like coaching can be done with a phone call. Retraining has got to be face-to-face. You've got to document it. There's got to be some teeth to it, right? Like, if you don't do this, here's what's going to happen. And you got to let them know the tone is not super pleasant. The tone is, you're here for a reason. We need you to do this. You're not doing it. Be very clear. Be very direct. And get on the same page with your driver. And if you can't, he may not be or she may not be somebody that you want working for you.